clarity and being intentional about all the choices that you make, 35,000 choices per day that we have to make. We're probably not going to be conscious about all of them, but if you're making the majority of your decisions in a way that's aligned with who you want to become and your vision and your goals, you are on the road to success.
Hi, I'm Melanie Barr. Welcome to the She Built It Experience with Melanie. Join me as I talk to women who have successfully built it, a career and business that they love. We dive into the topic of how they built it and talk about everything from having the courage to make career leaps to the details of how to lead effectively, create successful teams, implement strategies for growth, and infuse tech innovation. Magic happens when we focus on the part of ourselves and our business that brings us joy. So let's dive in. Thank you for joining us, Nida. You are a business strategist and coach who elevates ambitious changemakers, CEOs, and entrepreneurs to transcend limits. What led you to launch your business, and how do you empower clients to better their lives?
My background was business. I worked for Fortune 500 companies, L'Oreal, Unilever, and my first serious business was a child development center. And that was the point where I discovered that I love psychology and I love helping people develop themselves and transform themselves and unleash their full potential. So that started with children and then eventually transitioned into coaching adults. I work with change makers, entrepreneurs, CEOs, high-level executives. I work with them on their business strategy and the psychology. A lot of work is about the inner work, about reinventing yourself and how you perceive yourself, self-identity or self-concept. A lot of work is about the self-esteem, how you perceive yourself. It's about the mindset. No matter who you are, I see the resume or I see the CV from my client before I meet them. And when I meet them in person, for some reason, every human being always perceives themselves less than who they really are or how the other people perceive them. And so there's always this interesting thing where I look at their resume and then I speak to them. You're like a completely different person. That's fascinating for me.
You're so right. And yeah, we're always thinking about what's next. And you can accomplish so many things in life and not really feel it. And sometimes I think, to your point, it comes through in the psychology of how we carry ourselves, how we present ourselves. And I see how you can help clients bring out their stronger side of their personality to really live in that state of being for what they have accomplished.
It's about the business. It's about the impact. It's about the ripple effect that they want to create in this world. We do a lot of work discovering what their ultra genius is, which oftentimes they're not aware what it is. So it has become an unconscious competency, something that they've done really well. They're not aware of it because it's just second nature to them and they've always just been doing this thing. And so that's another thing that I help clients discover about themselves.
And it's so interesting because we go through the day doing the things that we have to do, but we don't always focus on those things that we really love to do and that we really want to do. And after talking to hundreds of women, I'm always so inspired by the women who have done the deep dive, like you're talking about, those who have been brave enough to really look at themselves, to figure out the things that they want to make better in their lives. It's so easy to move through our day and ignore it. So it's great that you help clients find that version of themselves.
Awareness is the starting point for everything, for building the business that sparks joy for you, the business that you want to wake up to every day. And the other thing is intention. So when you have that awareness, what do you do with that awareness is very important.
What is the most limiting belief that you see from your clients as it relates to transcending limits and making bold moves? And how do you empower them to move past it?
It's a universal limiting belief. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I'm not confident. So I hear this like on a daily basis. We've been conditioned to believe that through education, through parenting, through media, social media these days, comparing yourself to someone that has been doing what you've been doing years before you. And we have all these like super high standards. And a lot of it comes from childhood experiences, comes from your family of origin, how you were raised, and the limiting beliefs that your parents had, and they are passing on to you. about being aware and breaking those cycles, realizing that these beliefs are not true. It is something that you've been conditioned through growing up and living in this world. I use a lot of techniques which are based in cognitive behavior therapy and coaching. But really, the mind, when we talk about the language of the mind, it's about behavior. So it's not just about changing your mindset. You have to change your behavior. And when you change your behavior, it creates this feedback loop where you took action and then you got a new feedback. And then that feedback goes back to your subconscious. And it says, that thing that you tried to prevent me from doing, it's not that scary. And I got a better outcome this time. So when you keep doing that, it rewires your brain so that it doesn't have to keep sending you that message that, oh, these new things are scary. You have to avoid getting out of your comfort zone. And by doing that, your mind rewires itself, and then it starts to send you a new kind of thought.
Recently, I've been looking at my mornings and my evenings, how I start and end my day. And it's easy to slide away from the meditation, doing them first thing in the morning, doing a meditation before I fall asleep. But when I do, I feel so good. It's also giving yourself that little bit of grace if you happen to slip away and realizing it and bringing yourself back into that focus.
Exactly. So clarity and being intentional about all the choices that you make, 35,000 choices per day that we have to make. We're probably not going to be conscious about all of them, but if you're making the majority of your decisions in a way that's aligned with who you want to become and your vision and your goals, you are on the road to success.
You are a serial entrepreneur and consider yourself a multi-passionate. What does that mean to you? And how has that led to the creation of your business that you run today?
Yeah, so multi-passionate, or another term which has been going around in the internet a lot, is multi-potentialite, which is someone who is good at many things that seem to be unrelated. And we see a lot of people that are good at math and analyzing things, but they also have this artistic genius as well. If you're unaware of this thing, then you could feel confused and lost. You dabble into several kinds of things and businesses and you never get anywhere. But when you are aware of it, then I would say to strategically bring all these things that you're passionate about into one or two businesses. You can integrate everything. You can design a business that utilizes your geniuses, your alter geniuses. And then I do so many things in my business. So we do consulting, we do a lot of coaching, we expand and we try new things all the time. And that's how we innovate. I love innovation. The disruption is not really about disrupting the market, but it's about finding a better solution, looking out into the world and noticing all the problems that are unsolved or not being solved well enough. I love understanding human mind and helping coaching people so that they are able to overcome past conditioning. If anybody's listening and you relate to that term, like multi-passionate, you feel you don't know which one to choose, you don't have to choose. Maybe choose one or two things that you feel like, okay, this is what you do best. This is what you could do all day. You could do without anybody paying you. And then you surround all the other passions around those one or two businesses. And I think it's very normal these days to have so many hats, so many roles, so many jobs, so many careers. Really, it's just normal now. Like I can be a YouTuber, I can be an author and do this and run this business and that business. And it's totally fine.
It's so true. And innovation can be scary, or we can look at it as exciting. And you seem to have a true curiosity about people.
Yes, I do. I think it's been an obsession since I was very young that I would look at people and wonder, like, why did this person do this? Or why do people react to similar situations, but in a different way?
You are also an author. What inspired you to write your book? And what is the biggest takeaway that you hope readers will have after reading it?
Yeah, so I have books in 2 languages. Relevant to this show would probably be this book, which is 1 to Millions Entrepreneur. It's on, people can get it from Amazon. So 1 to Millions is about one voice making an impact on millions. And the reason I wrote the book because I wanted to inspire people to realize what they could do in this world. We all start out and we think, oh, I'm just one person. I wanted to give people confirmation that there's a reason they're doing what they're doing. There's a reason that they were born with the geniuses that they have, and it's unique to them. And when you look at all the passions that you have or all the life experiences that you've gone through and everything, like there's only you that has all these things. We're all designed to do something in this world to create the impact, big or small, in our own way. And yeah, that's the reason I wrote this book.
It's so true. One drop can make the biggest ripple effect. And I always like to say that no one will do anything like you will do it. We've got to have trust and faith and belief in that. And it seems that's what your book is about. Any advice for authors who are going down that road? What, if anything, would you have done differently? And what did you love about the process of becoming an author?
I have so many things that I could share for people that think about writing a book. And I mentor a lot of clients that write books. A lot of imposter syndrome comes up when we're trying to write a book. And what they always say is, I don't think I'm an expert enough. I don't think I've reached that level of expertise to write a book. You need to come from a mindset that, okay, you're going to be writing many more books. This is not going to be your last and only book. This is going to be your first book. And when I look back to the first book that I wrote, I look back and thought, I made so many errors. I should have wrote it another way, or why didn't I write this? I left this out. And like, we can always go back and think about all the mistakes that we made. But if we didn't write that first book, there would never be a second better book. There would never be like book number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And I think that's with everything you do, with content creation, with if you're thinking about creating a YouTube channel or TikTok channel. If I go back and I look at the first few videos, it was terrible compared to what I'm doing now. But if we never did those first videos, we would never go through that cycle of improving and taking feedback and improving. Let go of this need to be perfect. We always talk about that, but it's just the truth. When you're writing, when you're creating content, you really have to just do the best that you can. I'm not saying to do a sloppy job, but you have to do the best that you can today and then just keep improving from that point. We go back and, wow, that was interesting. My thought, my identity, and many things have grown a lot from that point of writing the first book. I'd say just let go the need to be perfect and just do it. Do the best you can today.
And that's so true. I love your advice that you won't get to the third book if you don't put out the first one. And it's so true because when I'm frustrated or overanalyzing or thinking too much about something, I really do try to go back and say, I don't have to be perfect. This doesn't have to be perfect. And you taught in an education center. I have 9-year-old twins, and I'm constantly telling them, because you think about them and their adult future selves and the impact that I'm having on them now, and then the impact that my parents had on me, I'm constantly telling them, you don't have to be perfect. It's okay to make mistakes, because we do carry those things with us as we grow up.
Exactly.
Magic happens when we focus on the part of ourselves and our business that brings us joy. What is one way that you make sure to find and live your joy?
I always use this question, which I think I use it to make every decision, which is this choice or this decision align with who I want to be. The people I choose to be friends with, the relationships that I choose to invest my time and my energy in, how I want to show up in different relationships and with my clients. I always try to find new things to do in life, new projects, because I know that energizes me. I love ideation, love innovation, but it is always about the impact that I want to create in this world.
Thank you for joining us, Nida. Thank you for being such a light in the world and for helping others become the best versions of themselves. Please share with us how and where we can find you.
I'm on all the social medias. So LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. Visit my website. So it's nidaleard.com. And we're going to have a new ebook that's we're giving out for free. We're not selling it. The ebook is called Outlier Offers. And it talks about differentiation and how you can stand out from the industry and the market that you're in.
Thank you for joining us today. I'd love to hear from you. Reach out to me at hello@shebuiltit.com on our She Built It website or at She Built It on social. Thank you to my editor, Rich Streffolino, who always makes us sound good. Until next time, let nothing stop you from experiencing the life and business that you crave.